I wanted to do this season 1.5 tier list because we haven't talked about it. We've had a lot of time to sit with this meta now. Let's just make it happen here. Let's start with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is B tier. Still one of the worst healers, in my opinion. His heal is pretty garbage. His ability to keep the team alive is not great. His damage output is actually pretty good. It got buffed in the Season 1.5 patch, and he can now hit people from farther away for full damage, or for closer to full damage. I think he is an okay support, best in a 3 support lineup, and other than that, I don't want to see an Adam Warlock at all. Black Panther, I think, is B tier as well, above Adam Warlock. I think Black Panther is pretty good. His damage is not that high, burst damage not that high. However, if you pull off your combos and everything goes right, the stars align, no bullshit happens where your dash doesn't reset, and also nobody turns and instantly deletes you, I think that Black Panther can do pretty well. I think he's an okay character. I think there are better DPS options. Black Widow, I think is C tier. I can't put her into D tier because she is still a very high value ceiling character, so you can still do a fuckload of work with Black Widow. You just have to make sure that you can actually hit the shots. Do you hit the shots? If yes, you're great. If no, you suck. And you could have played anybody else and gotten more value. Hulk, I think Hulk is A tier, no longer S tier. In the Season 1.5 patch, the Iron Man Gamma team-up has gotten nerfed to where the team-up is only very slightly stronger than Iron Man on his own, which means you no longer need a Hulk. And with the addition of the Thing in the game, I think the Thing does everything that the Hulk does, but better, and I don't think you need a Hulk anymore. Still a very well-designed character. He's not bad. Hulk is A tier. I think Captain America is also A tier. I'm going to say actually above Hulk right now, and I think that Captain America is low-key very slept on. You may not see, hey, this guy contested the cart for double the amount of time of the rest of the team combined. Like, Captain America is low-key kind of cracked, bro. He's incredibly valuable, and I think that this is one of the characters that you need to learn this season as dive becomes more prevalent. Cloak and Dagger is A tier, still an incredibly strong hero. The ultimate got nerfed, the actual dash got buffed as well, so you now dash faster in between the dashes, which means that you're gonna get killed by a lot less Magnetos. The Magneto goes up in the sky, tries to hit you with the meatball. Now it's like 1 in every 30 times Magneto pops ult, he'll be able to actually time it perfectly. Not as strong as some of the other ultimates, which we'll talk about in a bit, but incredibly powerful still, and the things that you can do with them are incredibly powerful still. Doctor Strange, still S tier. Doctor Strange got nerfed from 650 HP down to 600 HP, and that did fuck all to stop Doctor Strange in his, like, reign of dominance inside of Marvel Rivals. You can't patch him out unless you nerf him into the ground. He is so good. All of the parts of his kit work together really well. They cover all the possible situations. He has everything that you would want from a tank. 50 HP less does absolutely nothing to stop this guy. He's still so good, and that's not going to change unless they destroy his entire kit. Groot is A tier. Groot is, I would say, one of the best tanks in the game, but not quite the level of Doctor Strange and another tank that we'll talk about in a minute. Groot's ability to block damage is unmatched still. The only problem with Groot is that he is hard countered by certain characters that just absolutely dumpster him, and he can't do anything about it. After the nerfs that went on in Season 1.5, not specifically to Groot, but to the people that Groot combos with, he is less impactful now than he was in the Season 1 patch, and he's still hard countered by everybody that hard countered him before. I think Hawkeye is B tier. Hawkeye is an incredibly high value ceiling character, just like Black Widow. He's pretty good. The ability to spam shots in your ultimate has gotten better in the Season 1.5 patch, and because of that, Hawkeye goes up a little bit. There's still a lot that you can do with him. Incredibly powerful if you hit your shots, and incredibly shitty if you don't. Hela is an S tier pick, probably the best DPS in the entire game. Hela's damage drop off now, 2 hits, 250 HP characters in the head, no matter what distance they are. Her kit is really strong. Her ultimate is pretty good, although it's countered by a lot of the sustain ultimates. Her point and click ability makes her one of the easiest DPS to play, assuming that you can actually hit those shots. S tier. Iron Fist. Iron Fist is B tier. I'm gonna put him below Hawkeye because his value ceiling is smaller than Hawkeye's value ceiling. They did a pretty good job. This character has come back into the meta a little bit here. Not so much that you're going to see him in every game, but when you do see him, he might actually kill you this time. Although it's less likely that he will kill you if you're a squishy character. Decent changes to Iron Fist overall. I think he's better than he was before. Iron Man is the bottom of C tier, above Black Widow, but just above the dumpster tier. Because, like, it's just so easy to die when you are a flying character. And now Iron Man got a buff, which makes his value on his own better than it's ever been. It's more valuable to have an Iron Man without a Hulk team up now than it ever has been since Marvel Rivals released, but when you play this character, you just get fucking killed immediately. Like, you come around the corner, you're like, all right, bitch, here we go. You know, you rub your hands together, you put out the things, and then you get tapped in the head, and you fucking go back to the respawn screen. It's terrible. It is awful feeling to play this character in this current meta. Iron Man's potential kills that he can get are pretty good. He's still pretty strong. You just can't live long enough to do anything with him, so he gets the kind of low end of C tier here. Jeff the Landshark is B tier, above Adam Warlock. Jeff the Landshark has adopted this playstyle where he goes into your backline and he like annoys you and your supports until you turn around and look at him, and then you fight Jeff for a while, and then he goes hide and seek mode and he makes himself full health, eats a bubble or two, and then a few seconds later he reappears and continues harassing you. I would rather have most support characters over Jeff the Landshark, but in a triple support comp I could see, you know, there's a place for him for sure. Loki is S tier, highest skill ceiling character in the game. He is amazing. His ultimate nerf did not affect him too badly. The charge rate of his ultimate got nerfed down. He is now still the fastest charging support ultimate, tied with Cloak and Dagger, although it's a little bit slower than it was before. He does everything you would want a support character to do. He will be S tier probably forever. Luna Snow is the best support in the entire game. You know, her healing output is insane. Her stun is really good. She can deal a lot of damage. She can deal a lot of healing. She has the best ultimate in the game. Luna Snow is insane. Still an S tier pick. Magic is like the middle of A tier. In terms of DPS, she is one of the best characters that you could possibly pick, but she is hard countered by certain comps, although her value can be very strong if she can get in there and she can like mix it up with the supports. She can be a decent flanker, not the best, but a decent flanker. But if they play a super ranged heavy comp, there's just no opportunity for you to really get in there. Very good, but can be countered pretty easily. Magneto is the second best tank in the game. He's S tier. He is incredible in any comp. You have the personal bubble, you have the teammate bubble, you have an ultimate that lets you fly. Ultimate is still very strong. He is a beast of a character. So he just takes his S tier spot and he holds on to it. Mantis. Mantis is like an A tier character below Cloak and Dagger. I think that Mantis, her damage output is very high, so if you are really good at hitting headshots, she is really good. She has strong healing over time. She has the damage boost for herself and for her teammates. That being said, your healing output is also reliant on your mechanical skill, so she's pretty good. She's not as good as the other supports, in my opinion. Moon Knight is like the bottom of B tier. I'm gonna say Moon Knight is below Jeff the Landshark and below Adam Warlock. Moon Knight was only good because his ultimate countered the hard sustain ults. They have since fixed that. Everybody had thought that the Moon Knight ultimate was bugged, but they have fixed that so that the hands now fall slower, but they deal as much damage as they used to deal when it felt like you were getting double hit. His combo with Groot used to be the strongest ult combo in the game because it would just shut down everything. Any support ultimate, any characters that got caught in it, the Moon Knight ult would kill everything, and you roll the enemy team. That doesn't work anymore. And because of that, Moon Knight has lost his spot in the meta. He's not like the worst character you could pick, but he's very, very much not the best character you could pick. Namor is A tier. Namor is the tippity top of A tier, just below S, and when he has the Luna Snow team up is basically an S tier pick. If you can hit headshots with this character, his burst damage is crazy high. His turrets give you so much baseline value. He is insanely good. If you haven't played this character, if you don't know how to play him, and you play DPS at all, make sure that you learn fucking Namor. You will not be sorry. I promise you will not be sorry. The old Penis Parker here, going down at the top of C tier. She is the worst tank in the game. So like a Wolverine, a Black Panther, these characters get destroyed by Penny Parker. Certain melee-based tanks like Thor, or even like to a lesser extent Venom or The Thing, these tanks get destroyed by Penny. Her burst damage is pretty high when the stars align and somebody walks on a bunch of mines at the same time, or the spider bots come by and kill everything. Other than that, there's no reason to bring her over another tank. She is a shittier version of any other tank that you could possibly get. She's not that good, dude. Play somebody else, you'll be better off. Psylocke is an A tier pick, not S tier, because her ultimate is hard countered by a lot of things in the game, but she can be a great flanker, she can be a great frontline presence. Just in general, she is not quite as powerful as like Namor, whose baseline value is a little bit higher, and definitely not as powerful as Hela, whose baseline value is a lot higher because all she has to do is click ahead 2 times and everybody dies. So Psylocke, very good, not the best, but very good. Punisher is like the tippity top of B tier. He is everything that you would want a damage dealer to do, but but with slightly less mobility and a large hitbox. The thing about Punisher is that his ultimate is slow. You're really easily countered by a Magneto, by an Iron Man Maximum Pulse. Like, you just have no way to get out in his ultimate, and because of that, it's really easy to shut down. But his burst damage is really high with his shotgun. It just forces him to be close range, and his primary fire with his assault rifle is okay. It's not really that good. Pretty good value, not the best. Rocket Raccoon is the bottom of A tier, lower than Mantis, but higher than Jeff the Landshark and higher than Adam Warlock. Rocket has incredible healing output. He never dies. If you play him correctly, you just live forever. You just keep holding right click. You can deal a lot of really high damage to people who are close range. Not that many people take use of his primary fire, but if you do use it correctly, if you use it well, you can get a ton of value out of it. His ultimate is slept on when comboed with certain other ultimates. There's nothing really bad about this character, but in general, it might just be better to have a support ultimate like it has been for the entirety of the game. Scarlet Witch is the bottom of B tier. She is still not really that good. However, she can hard counter certain characters that are hard to kill, like a Jeff the Landshark or a Rocket Raccoon, because her damage does not require her to aim. She just has to kind of point in your general direction. Her burst damage can be pretty high if you hit those right clicks, and with the Season 1.5 patch, she got buffed. In her ultimate, she now has 100 extra hit points, which means that every now and then you will see a kill from the Scarlet Witch ult, as opposed to before, where you would just watch her pop the ultimate and immediately get shit on. Good for her, still pretty bad. Spider-Man, bottom of A tier. Bottom of A tier. A very strong character in what he does. It just requires that 1 in every 1,000 Spider-Men to be able to be good enough to be able to pull it off. You can kill very effectively with him. Great mobility, a decent ultimate. It just requires a very mechanically skilled player to be able to do. And when you have the Venom team up, I would say he goes up in the A tier. I'd say probably like tied with Magic, very close to, maybe even above Magic, depending on how good you are at Spider-Man. But just on his own, it's pretty good. Squirrel Girl is A tier, and the reason that Squirrel Girl is so good is because her damage is really high. If you get used to the geometry that you have to understand to be able to get consistent damage out of her, her Immobilize is really strong. She does massive work with the Squirrel Stampede. If no one shoots it, it tracks you down, it kills you so fast, and if you get hit with one primary fire followed by the Squirrel Stampede, you're basically just dead. For the teams when they're killing the ultimate, she's like B tier, high burst, but, you know, can be easily countered by paying attention and just killing things. Star-Lord is an S-tier DPS. In the Season 1.5 patch, his movement got buffed. His little jetpack feet got buffed. He's got 50% more time inside of the jetpack feet now. His ultimate is a game changer. It team wipes if you use it correctly. Even without an Adam Warlock, he's still S-tier. He just does so much and so much damage output. You can never go wrong putting a Star-Lord in basically any comp. And so, yeah, so that's where he sits. Storm is a very strong character. I think Storm is like the middle to the bottom of A tier. She is not quite as strong and oppressive as she was before. And in addition to that, with the balance of Hela being able to 2-tap at range, you run into the same problem with Storm that you run into with Iron Man, which is that you just can't exist in a world where Hela is there. Like, Storm will just get instantly dumpstered, and she's too easily countered by the characters that are good right now. She's not as good as she was. Still very strong. Still very powerful. Can still generate an ult very quickly, but instantly gets deleted against certain team comps. So Thor is like the bottom of A tier. Thor is really good and really strong when comboed with certain tanks. He requires another tank to be able to be effective. You can't have a main tank be Thor. He doesn't have the ability to block damage and survive the way that a Magneto does, the way that a Doctor Strange does. Even Groot, he just can't do it. He can't live through all of that punishment. So if you pair Thor with a Captain America, if you pair him with a Thing, or literally any tank, he does great. And then he can get in there, he can brawl it out, and he can utilize his big damage, which is like his awakening rune, where he like throws the lightning bolts and shit. Wow, you know, I'm fucking Thor, the god of thunder and shit. That's still good. Like I said, he just can't exist on his own as a main tank, and because of that, he's not gonna make it to the top of A tier. Venom has risen hard in the meta right now. I'm gonna leave Venom right here, and I think that this is a good spot for him. Dive is incredibly prevalent in this current meta, so when you combine Venom with one of the dive tanks like a Thor, or really any of the other tanks as well, but specifically for dive, he is incredibly good at getting in, getting out. He has a massive effective HP pool, and he can deal a lot of damage and potentially one-hit squishies. I highly recommend you guys check him out if you guys are not playing Venom. Bucky. Bucky is the tippity top of A tier, arguably S tier against certain comps. He's got a good amount of burst damage when he hits a headshot. He's got the ability to hook in tanks and other key targets and get them away from their team and into your team. Tons of utility, tons of damage, very tanky, very good character overall. Wolverine is a high A tier character. I'm gonna say above Magic, below Storm. Pretty good. Still an incredibly powerful character, very tanky, can absolutely kidnap Groot. The thing about Wolverine is that he isn't as good against the Thing, because the Thing can't be kidnapped. There's no force movement that happens with him. So, like, Wolverine has lost his S tier spot, in my opinion, because there is somebody that hard counters him now, as opposed to Wolverine just being the hard counter for every tank, basically, in the whole game. His damage output is still ridiculously high, still can absolutely shred tanks, he can still shred the Thing, but he requires his team to follow up and to be there with him. Mr. Fantastic is in the D tier. D is for dumpster, because he sucks balls, dude. He is awful. He has stayed awful. I don't know if he's ever gonna get good. His ultimate now deals more damage than it did before, which is great and all, but problem is, he just lives for a long time and he doesn't really generate much value outside of that. He doesn't really kill things that much, so he's really bad. I would say, like, legitimately the worst damage character in the entire game. Sue Storm. Sue Storm is like the top of A tier right here. Sue Storm is the top of A tier, very close to S. Very, very strong character overall, a massively good neutral game, massively powerful in her heal, in her ability to crowd control the enemy and force them to move into places that they don't want to be. She has the one-shot potential, which is the only support in the game that can actually one-hit things. Just in general, a really good character, but not S tier. The Thing is amazing. He has damage reduction, he has mobility, he has bonus health, he can get in, he can deal a lot of damage, he can get out, he's got a game-changing ultimate. He is an incredibly strong character, but similarly to Thor, kind of requires another tank. You don't want your Thing to be the main tank. Play the character, learn him if you haven't, he's really good. Human Torch. Human Torch is the second worst DPS character in the entire game. I wanted him to be good so badly. He is in a death match with Black Panther for the title of the Tickle Monster. He does no damage, bro. He does so little damage. Oh my god, his damage is terrible. If they eat the entire primary fire to the head, they can actually die. And he can deal some pretty good burst damage this way. But he's a flying character, and because of that, he's just too squishy to be up in the face of the enemy like that, with no real way to get out. Like, yes, he can fly faster, but that fly faster is not fast enough to escape when people are beating your fucking head in melee range because you were stupid enough to go into melee range to begin with. Every time Human Torch deals damage, he is charging the enemy support ultimates to a massive degree because it's not enough damage to kill you, and they're just gonna heal through it. He's just not that good. He's better than Mr. Fantastic, I will say that. I think that Human Torch is gonna remain in the dumpster tier until he gets some buffs. He desperately needs them. That is your Season 1.5 tier list. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.